Welcome along to Las Vegas, and Formula One might be in the middle of the Nevada desert, but who'd have thought it? It's raining out there. Now how will that affect the drivers as they race along the strip? 17 corners, 3 straights, 2 DRS zones, and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas as we race around the 3.8 miles of Sin City. The strip has been taken over to become a straight tonight, commanding top speeds of around 212 miles an hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have the owner driver, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Hulkenberg, Hamilton, Sargent, Ocon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Zhou, Albon, the owner driver, Stroll, Tsunoda, Gasly, Bottas, Norris, and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to the Equal Car Championship on F1 23. We are now at Las Vegas for the Vegas Grand Prix. It was a very eventful sprint race, but now we're here for the feature. And I just want to say, first of all, I have had a good few days away. I really enjoyed that. I went to see I went to see Russell Howard at the London Palladium, and oh my god, that man, I've never laughed so much in one show as I did at that. Russell Howard is just naturally hilarious. So that was very enjoyable. But yeah, I've had a few days away, hence why there was a few days gap between the sprint and this race, because I was away and I wasn't able to do it live. But I'm back now, so let's do this. 50 laps of Las Vegas. How is this going to unfold? I'm hoping it's going to be a good race. Let's get it underway, and it's a good start. We're clear of Sainz. Verstappen is going to cover. We're going to try and go around the outside of Verstappen, and if there's one thing I should have learned from what Leclerc did here, is don't go around the outside of Max, because he'll try to run you off. But he didn't end up running me off here, and we're actually ahead of Carlos Sainz and up into second place. And yeah, Leclerc's up to 4th, and Perez is in 5th. So Piastri, who was 4th, really not getting a good start. But it is a dream start for Max Verstappen, who is leading the way of this Las Vegas Grand Prix. We're in 2nd, and then it is Sainz, Leclerc, Perez at the moment, and that's your current top 5. But that could all change as we go through a night of racing in the Nevada capital, Sin City. And look, Max has already got a second clear. He is gone. Verstappen really going for it just to get that gap done. Otherwise, you become vulnerable down the strip. Here we are then for the first time in the Grand Prix. And I just want to say, what is Crofty smoking? He said it was raining. I don't see rain. Ending the first lap then, and we catch Verstappen on the strip. The slipstream is really powerful here. But Verstappen getting almost a second clear, and in fact is a second clear at the end of lap 1. So Max is really on it. We've used all our overtake. Max leads the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We're starting second. I don't know if we're going to be able to make any further inroads to Max, but I'm definitely going to give it everything I can do. And in third place, it's Carlos Sainz with Leclerc and Perez behind. But at the moment, Max is just clearing off, isn't he? At the moment, it looks like it's going to be a difficult race to catch him, but I'm going to do what I can. It's a long race and literally anything could happen, and I'm expecting safety cars and red flags. We had 3 red flags in the sprint, and I've never seen that many red flags in a sprint race on this game before, which just shows you how dramatic that sprint was. But now we're in the feature. Will we see any red flags here? I'm thinking we'll see 2 and a safety car. So that's my predictions for the evening as we head onto the strip for the second time. Verstappen leading Sainz. I'm just trying to get a bit more clear of Sainz so that he doesn't become a threat on the next lap with a bit of DRS. But Verstappen, I tell you what, he's a little bit vulnerable on the straight, isn't he? He doesn't seem quite as fast, and I'm going to take that as a chance that maybe I can attack him. We're only 2 laps down of this 50-lap race. It's a long race and there's a long way to go. Anything can yet happen. And Verstappen sets another fastest lap of the race. 8.37. We were only a fraction of a second off. He set a 1:38.837. We set a 1:38.838. That is close. And I think we may have had a bit of DRS down the straight here. But we're not close enough to attack Max here. I'm just thinking, can we stay close to attack him on the strip? We're certainly putting Verstappen under just a little bit of pressure at this stage. So Max is having to work for it. And I'm not going to let him get away if I can help it. This is where we need to make it count. And that we have got the gap to 8 tenths. So we are going to have DRS. Max is going to be slightly vulnerable, but I had to lift there, and I'm not sure that really worked for me. A little bit sideways going through, and I think we may have just dropped ourselves out of DRS, but Carlos Sainz has put himself in DRS and may be a threat down this straight. But we have a nice little slipstream from Verstappen at the moment, and that is keeping us in play. But here comes Carlos Sainz. Depends how brave on the brakes he is, I suppose. And he's going to be very brave on the brakes because he's just taken the place. Carlos has just moved ahead of us and taken P2. Now, my thing is he going to be able to put Max under any kind of threat? We've got Charles Leclerc there as well. But I'm coming back at Sainz. I'm not finished with him. In turn 1 we go. Carlos is covering. I've tried to go down the inside. It's not quite worked out for me. Sainz is up to second. I've got Leclerc right behind me, and this is just helping it fall right into play for Max. But now I've got a bit of DRS on Sainz, and I'm going to try and get back clear of him here. I have got clear of him, in fact, and that is P2. Suck it, Carlos. I'm going back after Max. You lot race amongst yourselves. I don't want any part in a battle behind me. I want to try and get after Verstappen. I want to try and get after that Red Bull, but Verstappen is just driving the race he needs to drive at the moment, and we're just having a bit of a tough time of it. Also, what's going on with my phone? Sorry for the pause. The stream paused on my phone for some reason. I just had to check why it had done that, but we're back underway again, and that's not the way you do that corner. And unfortunately, we are going to be vulnerable on this strip again, because Carlos is going to have a go. I've got no overtake, so I've not really got anything to fight him off with. He's going to go, well, that was fairly easy for Sainz, really. But how brave on the brakes am I fancying being here? Very is the answer to that question. Oh, we've made contact with Sainz. That was not very friendly. And there is a very slight bit of front wing damage, but nothing that should really impact the race. Down the inside we go here. That's not really a place you overtake. We've made it work on Sainz and retaken second. But now Max Verstappen has well and truly checked out at this stage. But again, I remind you all, long race. And there's another queue of cars that are all battling behind, so... Round here, there seems to be groups of battles with how it works on the strip. You just get lines of cars that battle, and there's massive trains that just battle all the way through, so it's quite interesting how that happens on this game. Right, lap 5, and I'm trying to not lose out to Sainz here, but, well, I have, and I think, again, we're going to be vulnerable on the strip. Verstappen is not vulnerable to anyone. He's 3 seconds up the road. I mean, at this stage, you may as well stop and have a cup of tea. Right, onto the strip we go again. And for sure, Sainz is going to come right at us. Going to try and not use overtake. Hit a bump there. That wasn't a very friendly bump. Yeah, Sainz has gone down. He's now up to second. Leclerc having a look at Sainz. He's not on the racing line, is he? Sainz not getting the exit there. But now this sets us up for a go again into one. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to have another go at Sainz into turn 1. I don't even know why I'm battling Sainz. I want to be battling Max, but I just don't have the position as we go back down the inside of Sainz. Retake P2. And Carlos is going to be getting pretty frustrated there. But I tell you who's not going to be feeling any frustration, and that is Max Verstappen, because he's now 3.2 ahead of us, and I can see Piastri trying to get himself involved in this little battle. So it's lap 6 here, and there's plenty of action for you guys already. Plenty of wheel-to-wheel racing, so it's a treat of a race to watch, and I feel like the next 45 laps are going to be too. But I do want to ask, what was Crofty smoking when he said it was raining? I'm not seeing any rain. We're on to the Vegas strip again. And I think Sainz is a bit further back this time, so I don't think we've got that much to worry about from Sainz, but it's a long bit of road. And in fact, we are going to have something to worry about, because here he comes. He's going to cover the inside. He's going to go to the outside. And Sainz once again just breezing past. But I'm going to try and get him into one again. I think Carlos is a bit further ahead this time. But we are going to catch him as we head through to this little left kink that makes up the final bend. And yes, I am setting myself up to go back down the inside of Carlos Sainz. And Sainz, well, he just doesn't fight that, does he? I mean, I suppose you could look at it as, well, why would he fight that? Verstappen now 3.4 down the road. Sainz comes back at me here, but there's not enough straight to fight. And I've pretty much got a good position on the track there. Well, really didn't get the best exit, and that might give Sainz a little look there, but it's not going to happen around this part of the circuit. Verstappen is now pulled out more, with me just struggling. Starting to struggle a little bit on the tyres. And Sainz is within 3/10 of me here. This is ridiculous. I may even be vulnerable to Leclerc as I get... Well, that's a bit of a strange line. But okay, we'll take it. And Carlos losing out there. I think I might have caught him a little bit off guard, and that's going to allow me a little bit of an advantage going into the strip. But now Carlos is going to come straight at me. And Perez is there. So too is Leclerc. I'm trying to cover Carlos and force him in tight. Perez is there too. Oh no, we don't want Perez to go through. Hang on a minute, it's bad enough one of you got through. I didn't need two of you doing it. So we're now going to try and go back at Perez so that I can get back at Sainz. And we're going to do that round this left kink. Perez tries to turn the corner, but there's nowhere for him to go. And now I'm right on the back of Sainz and preparing to attack him on this little DRS straight here. And I think we should be able to have Sainz back again. This is such an intense scrap for second place. In fact, we've already got back past Carlos Sainz, who's probably going to be spitting blood in that helmet out of sheer frustration, wanting to get P2, but not quite being able to get there. Verstappen is well and truly gone, I'll be honest. 4.6 seconds. It's going to be hard to catch him without a safety car. And I'll be honest, with how this race is going, I'm surprised we haven't had one yet. But it's definitely entertaining to be part of. And I'm sure it's entertaining to watch as well. Come on, Spider Joe, says Tash. Doing my best, but bloody hell, I'm having to really fight this one. Right. Lap 8 out of 50. I think she's referencing that the track looks like Spider Pig upside down. Right, I've got Perez and Sainz either side of me, sandwiching me here. But I'm going to be a bit bolder on the brakes and say to hell with the pair of you. Have your own scrap. And that has actually worked out for me, because I saw them both off there. So, no way through for Sainz. And he's actually really lost out in that. I think he may have taken a bit of a hit somewhere, but now we're up into P2. Verstappen, though, still 5 seconds down the road. He's going to be chuckling to himself. He must be. Right, what can we do from here? It's going to be... I really do want to try and catch Verstappen, but the problem is, I'm fighting these guys, and while I'm fighting these guys and I don't have the pace to get clear, it makes my race that little bit tougher, and it makes it tougher to catch Max. I wonder, is there an undercut opportunity? Can I possibly try a free stop and try something a little bit cheeky? Decisions. As we head onto the Vegas Strip once again. I got so much of a better exit than Perez there, so I feel like that might help us, and we might be able to hold on down to the end of this stretch. I'm thinking we're going to pit at the end of lap 11. We're going to try a free stop here, as Perez has a look down the inside. There's nothing in doing there. I've simply closed the door. And that's the first time all race that I've had no threat on the strip. So that's helped out. We now head on to the 10th lap, and I'm going to pit on 11. I don't know how to do this, but we're gonna work this one. It's going to be a work in progress. Oh! What isn't going to be a work in progress is if I hit the wall like that again. Somehow I've still got a front wing. I'm really not sure how, but that was quite a hefty whack. And we're now quite clear of that battle behind us, so I suppose there's a positive there now, is that we're getting clear of that. But the problem is getting Verstappen, and I just wonder if the key is in an extra stop. Actually, change your mind. I'm going to play this strategy out. Let's just do the race, play the strategy out, pit when we're supposed to. Let this play out, because otherwise we've got a lot more overtaking to do. At the moment we're in a fairly good position, so Let's just play this one out. There is going to be some form of drama at some stage in this race. And I am going to need a fix on my front wing to try and help out. We're 6 seconds behind Verstappen at the moment. Max at the moment is doing Max things. I don't think at this stage an early pit stop would help. But I think an early pit stop after the second stint, that might help. So we're going to try that. Because at this stage we don't know if there's going to be a safety car yet. We could see safety cars come into play here. We just don't know. The previous race winner is behind me, Charles Leclerc. Won the Brazilian Grand Prix, of course. A race that was very eventful for me. It looked like a sure thing for the victory, but it ended up just not happening. And we haven't had a feature race win since the second race, which is how dramatic this season has been. Leclerc's up to third, but he's going to have a really tough time of it down the strip. Verstappen is pulling out by a couple of tenths each lap, so Max is doing the job at the moment, it's got to be said. And we're in a little bit of a static phase of the race. After all the early battles, we're in a bit of a static phase. Perez has now jumped everybody. Sainz and Leclerc have really lost out. Both Red Bulls seem really fast
Okay,
here.
we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs.
We've got another couple of laps before we pit yet. I still think there's plenty of room for surprises in this race yet. Trying to catch up to Max. He's very, very fast. But I still think we can do it. I still think this is a race that is very winnable. I just think it's going to take a little bit of patience and a little bit of smarts. I think it's going to take maybe trying something different as well. Because if we do the same thing as Max in P2, we're going to finish P2, maybe P3 behind Perez, depending on what his pace is like. Although Sainz is really quickly coming at him, and that was a bit of a mistake there. Oh, that's an even bigger mistake! As we go straight down the escape road.
Okay, the gap
But I avoid the wall. We're going to rejoin here. That was an even bigger mistake, okay. So I'm talking about finishing in P2, but we make the mistake of going straight down the escape road. I wasn't confident we'd have made it under brakes, but now that has decided my next course of action. So now I have nothing to lose by making an early pit stop. So we are going to make that early pit stop. Look at Logan Sargent up in P10, having a solid race. I'm making an early pit stop now because I feel like that is the best course of action. And I think a couple of others have also decided they're making an early stop too. Yes, Leclerc in the pits. So too is Piastri. We're next to pit. And we have got a new front wing coming our way too. So an early pit stop for us. And we are going to lose a bit more time. As we now end up behind Stroll, who's gone on to mediums.
We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross.
Right, here we go. Back out on track then. We've got a new front wing and a fresh set of tyres. Let's get it. First up is Lance Stroll. We're down to P19, so we've really lost out through the mistakes. And Button has just made it into the pits. So what the heck has been going on with him in this race? In fact, you know what? I don't want to know. Spare me that one. Right, so we were running second and looking good, but then I took a little trip down the escape road after making a mistake, and at that moment I decided, right, okay, making an early pit stop is a good idea here, and we can try and undercut a couple of cars, also get on a new front wing and try out an experimental strategy. So right now we're fully winging it here. I don't know what the plan is. My first plan is actually getting past Magnussen. We'll worry about the rest later. I don't know if we got enough to do it on the strip though. We're definitely reading him in, aren't we? I think it's going to be a case of doing a Leclerc on the brakes. Magnussen goes to defend. I'm not quite sure what he thinks he's defending there though, as we get the move done. And Magnussen's hit me, and he's forced me into the wall and taken my front wing. K-Mag, are you kidding me? Well, now I have to pit again and take a new front wing. I am fuming at that. Fuming at that. Nah. 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 What was that? He literally hit me and that forced me into the wall. Oh, you've got damage too, have you, K-Mag? Oh dear, Karma's a bitch. Ah.
Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Up to speed
This
now.
Vegas race has turned into an absolute nightmare because now we're in P19. Oh, P21 should I say. Wow, what a nightmare this race has become. I cannot believe how bad it's got. In the space of 2 laps, from going down the escape road to having a long stop to then being put in the wall. I can't believe that. I genuinely am very, very peeved. We've got another new front wing on and we've got another fresh set of boots. We're going on the medium tyres. Verstappen, he's well clear at this stage, isn't he? Max is gone. As we now head on to the strip. And Magnussen, he's quick. Okay, that's a new fast lap for George Russell. That's a surprise. This race can still surprise me. We've still got a lot of race to go yet, so it's not like it's a case of it's all doom and gloom, but that's certainly not helped me. And it certainly made my race just that little bit longer. And now every set of soft tyres we take from here on is used. So I'm going to try and make this stint go a little bit longer than... well, at least it'll go longer than my last couple of stints. Magnussen is still right there. I don't know how he's so fast, but Magnussen is right there. What's the fuel situation like? I'm a little bit worried about that as well. As we've got a yellow flag, Bottas is out, and we've got cars going slowly. How dramatic is it? Is it enough for a safety car? Or are we going to get away with a double wave, with just a waved yellow? Yes, we got a safety car! And I'm so grateful for that. Hulkenberg is out as well. What has gone on here? So we've lost Bottas and Hulkenberg. This is the Vegas drama that we're talking about. It's never far away, but that brings us back into play, provided I don't get a drive-through penalty here. Drama is never far away in the city of Las Vegas, and that's what we've got. We've got a double retirement, 2 cars dropping out that lap, and that means, of course, that we have a safety car. And that gives me time to catch my breath just a little bit. Also gives me time to do something just a little bit radical. Nah. Okay. I was thinking of pitting for hard, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're going to do something even more radical than that. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but I'm thinking bold and ambitious here. And especially because I've got nothing to lose, so I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to have fun trying. And if we get a second safety car, if we get a safety car towards the end, the plan may change. I'm not going to reveal to you what it is. I have a plan. It's completely ridiculous, but it might work. I wish Magnussen would get off my arse. I do not appreciate having him there. But what this essentially does now is brings me back into play. Where obviously I've lost a lot of time through mistakes of Magnussen just being Magnussen, a hazard for the sake of being a hazard. This now brings me right onto the back of the pack again. It gives me a chance to try and thread my way back through. So on lap 17 of 50, we're about a third of the way through the race, and the safety car is out, and I'm happy about that because this brings me back into play. This brings me back into play in this Grand Prix. We're not down and out yet, but it's gonna be hard to fight through. But we're going to give it our best shot, and I'm hoping that the other leaders can hassle Verstappen a bit, and everyone can just battle it out. Right, we should see the safety car in this lap, so we will be going racing very shortly after the first safety car of the night. And I don't think it'll be the last either. I'll be amazed if that's the only safety car we get through this whole thing. In fact, I'm losing touch with the safety car queue a little bit here.
Okay,
there we go, safety car in this lap.
When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line.
I nearly went into him then. We've not saved as much overtake as I would like. Verstappen is leading the way, and when he decides to drop it, we go. I think he's already decided. No, he hasn't. Go on, Max. Release the pack already. I think he's released it. Let's go racing here. We are back underway at Las Vegas, and the first thing I'm doing is potentially having a look at Jenson Button. We are having a look at Button. Forcing my way down the inside and maybe having a look at Norris. Nope, that's a gap that was always going to close in on me. But we can try and do a bit of an up and under here because he's not got a good run out of the corner. And that allows me to retake and get past Lando Norris. Get into 17th. Lando's coming back at me around the outside here though. But I've kept the inside line. I've kept the position. And now it's on to Daniel Ricciardo in 16th. So we have gained a couple of positions here, and we've got Stroll and someone else side by side, and Sargent's dropped to 13th. He was in a points position at one point, so that's unfortunate for him that he's lost out there, because I really thought this could be a race we see some Sargent points. I'm trying to get onto the back of Ricciardo for the strip, see how many we can overtake, and I really thought we were going into the back of him then. Thankfully, no such contact. Right, who can we overtake? How can we do it? Ricciardo, stay that side. I'm coming past. Okay, maybe I'm not coming past. Trying to get alongside down the strip. We are alongside Ricciardo. He's going to be a bit braver on the brakes. Try not to hit Albon. And we have got clear of Ricciardo. So we have gained another place. And in fact, I think I forced Ricciardo a bit deep there. I do apologise. I was trying not to hit Albon. But we are up to P16, so we have gained places here, and we need to keep going. What we need to do is avoid getting stuck in a pack of battling cars, because you lose so much time doing that. It's really so easy to do that around here, and you can lose so much time. And I really have no interest in doing that, so let's keep going for now. Albon P15, and he is the car that we're attacking next, the one I was trying so hard not to hit last time round. And it's lap 19 here at Vegas. Still got a long, long way to go. And not gonna lie, your heart sinks when you see how far there is to go when you look, because it's a hard race and I'm really concentrating as much as possible. So to see that, how far I've done so far and how long there is to go, your heart does sink a little bit, and you think, I thought we were deeper into the race than that, but we're not. We're only entering the middle stage. But this is where I can start making up a little bit of ground. And this fight looks like it's getting quite intense, doesn't it? But again, I'm a little bit stuck here at the moment, and I need to get forward. The DRS has enabled this lap, so that might help. Is there a way through Albon here? Again, that gap will only close in on me. So it's time to do a little bit of an up and under move I like. I set it up by getting the inside line, then I get alongside on this straight, be a little bit braver on the brakes, try not to hit Tsunoda. Albon holds on the outside line, but there's no way he's going to be able to keep it, and we move up another place. I made myself sound so calm when I was doing that. I really wasn't. I was so on edge and anxious that I was going to hit somebody. But we are up another place, and we're now targeting Yuki Tsunoda, who is targeting Logan Sargent. And this is quite a big group of cars who are scrapping here. That was a slide there. Okay, we don't want to do that too many times. That worried me a little bit. I don't want to be sliding there. Is Albon gonna have a go here? I think he might. I don't think he's gonna get close enough though. There's cars that are two abreast. I think that's Sargent and Stroll that are having a little scrap. How's that working for them? I don't know, but I'm gonna get past Tsunoda here by going down the inside of the left-hander. In fact, we're already past him here, and that's setting me up for Stroll. We're gonna have a look at Stroll into one. Going to be braver on the brakes, and we're going to outbrake Lance. 2 into 1 there. I don't mind a little bit of 2 for the price of 1, because that's what we've taken here. And now we're preparing ourselves for Logan Sargent, who doesn't have any DRS on Zhou Guanyu, so that may be a nice little place to gain there, and we have gained it. And Sargent, however, fighting back and keeping the place. All right, Logan. We're going to just go down the inside of you here and make your evening that bit harder. No? Okay, Sargent's going to keep the place. Logan, just give it up. Sargent is in no mood to give it up. He's fighting me every step of the way here. But I think he's going to be very vulnerable when it comes to the strip, because look how close we are. I'm not sure he's got DRS on Zhou, as we have another interesting little slide round that corner. That's going to end with me sliding into the wall. I can tell that's going to end that way. But we're now going to just blast past Logan Sargent, and I think Tsunoda may follow us through on that one. He does follow us through. And he doesn't try the inside there. So Yuki waiting that one out there. And we've gained another position. We're up into P12. It's slow progress, but In a race where so much has gone wrong, right now I'll take it. Right, we've got Gasly and Zhou up next. So much battling going on here. I'm confused by which battle is for what. Lap 22 out of 50 still. Not even half distance yet. That just shows you how eventful it's been. It's not even half distance, but it feels like we've been going much longer. I'm trying to... Oh, catch this battle, but I'm sliding. The tyres aren't exactly giving me the grip I need them to give me. Who's heading this battle? It can't be Bottas, he's out. Okay, I'm definitely starting to play dare with how many times I've slid around that particular corner. And I need to stop doing that because that could end in me in the wall. And on lap 22, that is not what we need. A little bit stuck here because everyone has DRS and they gain so much on the strip with it. It's unreal how much you can gain there. And this puts me a little bit stuck.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.1 seconds.
So thinking on radical strategies, I'm just saying. Look how close they all are up here. I can literally see it on the map, it just looks like a splodge. I'm calling this Splodge 1. Right, stop with the funny names because you might lose concentration. I'm trying to see how many cars are in this battle. I think at the moment Alonso and Ocon are backing it up by battling their own positions. But there's definitely positions to be gained here. So let's gain them. I wonder, is Alonso pitted yet? I feel like one or two of these cars might be a bit late on their side of their stint. Another slide round the corner. I caught that one a bit better though. Right, there's definitely room to pass one of these. So I think let's get Zhou here. Let's have a go at Zhou down the strip. Yep, he's going to defend. Cars are going everywhere in front of us. Where do you go for safety? I don't know. But where we've gone is ahead of Zhou. And I've given him a wide berth after what Magnussen did there. Because I'm not having another repeat of that. Right, we've got up to P11 now. So we're just outside the points. While that's good, I want to be better. Trying not to hit Gasly there. But we should have a nice run on Pierre here. And as long as I don't hit Alonso, I see no reason we shouldn't take 9th. Or 10th even, should I say. And we don't hit Alonso and we take the position from Gasly. Job done there. Let's get after Fernando and Piastri. Piastri's fallen back. He was in the front fight. He's really not. So it's not McLaren's day at this stage. Now again, whose day is it? I was going to say I feel like there's a Haas out of position. But Magnussen is out of the race. Hulkenberg's out of the race. And Magnussen's at the back. And I'm getting ever closer to that wall when I go around that corner every time. I'm not getting any closer to Alonso here though. It all depends on what he does in regards to Piastri. I'm just going to keep on the racing line and do my thing here. And Alonso's trying to get past Piastri. Then it's not happening. And there's a way past them both here as they're both wrong-footed out of the corner. And I really thought I was going to hit Alonso then, but I kept my foot in it and get past the pair of them. Thank you very much. I'm gone. Right, now into P5 and watching the Ocon and Sainz battle unfolding here. Now, this is where some of the drivers are pitting onto tyres to go to the end of the race. And if you want a little hint at my strategy, I'm already on the tyres I intend to take to the end of the race. That's bold, isn't it? Unless we get a safety car, of course, a bit later on, which will change my strategy. But for now, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm on the tyres I want to take to the end of this Grand Prix. And that is the plan at the moment. It could work, it could fail spectacularly. That's the beauty of this race. We're going to find out. And, getting ever closer to that wall. I need to be more careful. Ocon is going to have a go at Sainz here. That's for sure. Ocon, I think, is already through. Is Sainz maybe a little vulnerable? Maybe, but it's not worth risking it. Especially when I think he's going to pit in. I didn't know Piastri and Alonso were pitting in, which is why I fought them the way I did. But Ocon and Sainz are not pitting in. They're staying out another lap.
First place.
So that makes... Well, that throws what I was thinking with strategy out the window. As Sargent also stays out, that helps me in the grand scheme of things. As we now have a go at Carlos Sainz. It's one of my favourite moves of this race, and I think we're going to do it again. I tell you what, Ocon is vulnerable here, but Ocon's come across, and that means I've been blocked, and that's given Sainz an easy run through. And now Sainz is going to get back past Ocon, and they're side by side around a part of the circuit that really I don't want them to be side by side at, because they're holding me up. Guys. Oh god, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Joe, that's not gonna work. Joe, that's not gonna work. Joe, this is not gonna work. No, it's really not worked. Well, I mean, that was never going to work. I don't know what I was thinking there. I don't think I was thinking. I just had a go, and now Max Verstappen, well, he's on soft, so he's got to pit again. Here comes Verstappen. I think he's going to hit someone, you know. Verstappen, oh, that could not have worked better for him if he tried. Verstappen getting clear, but he's got to pit again. Right, okay. So there's an array of strategies at play here. But Verstappen, well, he just saw me off like it was nothing there, didn't he? As I've taken a second trip to the escape road.
Behind is 25.9 seconds.
I clipped that wall. No damage done. But now I'm battling these cars and I really don't want to be. I don't know why I fought that so hard. Now I know that Max is on softs. I feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like I've got a horse's head on my pillow here. Well, I've attacked Ricciardo and moved up a place there. I think I've done a little bit of underbody damage, but that's fine. Now I'm going to get back past Kevin Magnussen. Oh, whatever. Whatever. I'm past the point of caring. It's been a long, long race, and it's getting longer. Okay, just don't. And now we're right behind Kevin Magnussen. Really, I've lost the DRS. So I'm going to have these guys pounding me again. I'm going to keep Ricciardo behind me at all costs. I don't care. I don't care. You're not coming past either, Perez. Okay, maybe temporarily. But I'm going to be an awkward bastard and do this. Yeah! What an interesting race this is turning out to be. Max is now 2.8 up the road. And he's tucked up behind Albon. Alonso sets the fastest lap. I'm really curious as to how this all works out by the end, because Max will have to stop again. Okay. This is giving me a little bit of an idea here, because Max is, well, he was struggling with Albon, he's just now got past him with apparent ease. Are these tyres going to go to the end? They're not going to be, well, now I can't take them to the end. Now I'm going to pit in.
Are you okay? That was
And I'm out!
hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
Okay, I'm out. That was a mistake and a half there. I was wondering if the tyres were going to go to the end, but they didn't, and I hit the wall, hit it again, and yeah, that's my race over. That is such a silly mistake. Oh. No, we're out. Race over. Ah!
And in the heart of the Nevada desert, they take the checkered flag to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. They've hit the jackpot and will be celebrating long into the night. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
That was a miserable way for the race to end. Absolutely miserable. But Verstappen predictably takes the win. Alonso somehow ends up second out of all of that. How does that work out? And then it's Hamilton, Piastri gets fourth, then it's Perez, Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, Russell and Albon grabbing a point for Williams. I was such a miserable and silly way for my race to end. I don't know how that happened, to be honest. I got to slide out of one corner, clip the wall, then clip the inside wall, tried to turn the corner and get my foot down, and then hit the other wall. It was just a silly sequence of events that I'm not sure how that happened. But, oh, that's Vegas over. Well, what it means for the championship is now Verstappen leads, and he's actually tied on points with Lewis Hamilton. We're third in the standings now. Only 13 points off though, so it's not a complete loss here. Russell is fourth, Norris is fifth, then it's Piastri, Leclerc, Alonso, Sainz and Perez rounding out your top 10. And in terms of the constructors, Mercedes lead Red Bull, lead McLaren, lead us. Then it's Ferrari, Aston Martin, Alpine, Williams, AlphaTauri and Haas. I can't believe that's how my race ended. It was dramatic, it was entertaining. entertaining, and I was really looking forward to how that one would have concluded, but it just wasn't meant to be in the end. We got 4 races left of this Equal Car Championship, so join me for the next one. I will tell you guys what that is. It's Miami. It's Miami. That's going to be a tough one. But I hope you enjoyed this installment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all for Miami. Until then, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care, see you all soon.